people will betray love, but they will rarely betray fear. Machiavelli wrote this observation 500 years ago when he realized something that destroys the romantic mythology most people live by. Love is fragile, fear is stable, and if you have to choose between the two, you should choose fear. This doesn't mean cruelty for its own sake. It doesn't mean becoming a tyrant, but it means understanding something about human nature that most people spend their entire lives denying. People will abandon you when you love them, but they will respect boundaries enforced with consequences. Think about the relationships in your life. The people who truly respect you, are they the ones you're desperately trying to get approval from? Or are they the ones who know you don't need their approval? The people who help you when you're in trouble, are they your closest friends? Or are they people who respect you enough to fear losing your presence? Most people spend their entire lives trying to be loved. They sacrifice their integrity to be liked. They apologize when they've done nothing wrong. They over-explain themselves. They chase affection, and every single time they do, people disrespect them more. But the few people who stop chasing love and start commanding respect, those are the people who are never abandoned. Today we're breaking down Machiavelli's dark wisdom about fear versus love, not as a blueprint for tyranny, but as a psychological framework for understanding why the most secure people in the world aren't the most liked and why that distinction changes everything. Because here's what Machiavelli discovered. Love is something you control in others' minds through constant effort, but fear is something they control in their own minds through consequences. The first principle is called conditional loyalty. Machiavelli observed that love is transactional. People love you when you're benefiting them, but the moment the benefit stops, the love stops. The psychological principle here is called reciprocal altruism. Humans are wired to help others who help them and to withdraw when the exchange becomes unbalanced. But people often think love is unconditional. It's not. Love is conditional on continuous delivery of what the person values. So the person trying to maintain love is always working, always performing, always delivering. But the person maintaining respect through boundaries is at rest. The second principle is called predictability versus emotion. Love depends on how the person is feeling today. If they're feeling generous, they show love. If they're feeling resentful or hurt, they withdraw it. Love is at the mercy of their emotional state. But fear doesn't depend on emotion. Fear depends on consequence. The psychological principle here is called deterrence. When someone knows that disrespecting you has a cost, their emotional state becomes irrelevant. They might be angry, they might feel wronged, but they still won't disrespect you because the cost is real. Love disappears when emotions change. Fear remains when consequences are consistent. The third principle is called the cost of maintenance. To be loved, you have to constantly earn it. You have to give, you have to please, you have to perform. If you stop, the love diminishes. But to be feared, you have to establish boundaries once, then enforce them consistently. The psychological principle here is called effort economics. Your emotional energy is finite. If you're spending it constantly trying to maintain love, you're exhausted. But if you're spending it establishing clear boundaries, you're conserving energy. The person who's loved is always working. The person who's feared can rest. The fourth principle is called self-interest supremacy. Machiavelli said that humans are fundamentally self-interested. They help you when it serves them. They abandon you when it doesn't. Most people understand this intellectually, but refuse to accept it emotionally. They want to believe that love transcends self-interest. But it doesn't. The psychological principle here is called rational choice theory. Humans are rational actors who calculate benefit and cost. When benefiting you costs them more than it benefits them, they leave. This happens naturally. It's not cruelty, it's self-preservation. So when Machiavelli says to rely on fear instead of love, he's not advocating for cruelty. He's acknowledging reality. The fifth principle is called the illusion of obligation. Love is built on the idea that if I help you, you owe me. But Machiavelli observed that this obligation is illusory. People feel the obligation when it serves them. But when self-interest calls, the obligation evaporates. The psychological principle here is called the just world hypothesis combined with self-serving bias. People believe the world is fair and that good deeds are rewarded, but they also believe their own bad behavior is justified by circumstances. So they feel no obligation to repay kindness when their circumstances change. So relying on the obligation created by love is relying on something that doesn't actually exist. The sixth principle is called the stability of fear. When someone fears you, they don't need to feel good about you. They don't need to rationalize their loyalty. They just comply because compliance is safer than defection. The psychological principle here is called cost-benefit analysis under constraint. When defection has a clear cost, people calculate that the cost is too high, and they comply. This calculation doesn't depend on feelings. It depends on reality. So fear is stable across emotional states, while love is not. The seventh principle is called the paradox of respect. Here's the dark insight. When you stop trying to be loved and start commanding respect through boundaries, people actually respect you more, because they realize you don't need their approval. The psychological principle here is called reverse psychology combined with status dynamics. When someone doesn't need your approval, your brain registers them as higher status, so you naturally respect them more. It's automatic and unconscious, but it happens consistently. The person desperately seeking love is perceived as low status. The person indifferent to love is perceived as high status. The eighth principle is called the cruelty paradox. Machiavelli said that sometimes strategic cruelty is more merciful than indiscriminate kindness. This seems backward, but consider, if a leader is kind and permissive, problems fester and cause widespread suffering later. But if a leader is decisive and willing to take harsh action, problems are resolved quickly and fewer people suffer long-term. The psychological principle here is called consequentialist thinking. If you judge actions by their outcomes, harsh consequences often produce better outcomes than permissive kindness. The leader who's too kind often enables suffering. The leader who's willing to be harsh solves problems. The ninth principle is called the confidence cost of uncertainty. When you're trying to be loved, you're constantly uncertain about where you stand. Does this person still love me? Did I do something wrong? Will they leave? This uncertainty erodes confidence. But when someone fears you, there's no uncertainty. They know exactly where they stand. You've set boundaries and you enforce them. The psychological principle here is called anxiety reduction through clarity. Uncertainty creates anxiety. Clarity creates calm. So the person who's trying to be loved lives in anxiety. The person who commands respect lives in clarity. The 10th principle is called the visibility of boundaries. When you enforce boundaries, everyone watches, and they update their model of how to treat you. But when you're seeking love, no one's paying attention to whether you're being respected. The psychological principle here is called social learning and reputation management. People learn how to treat you by observing the consequences of disrespect. If disrespect has no consequences, everyone disrespects you. If disrespect has clear consequences, everyone respects you. It's that simple. The 11th principle is called the question of control. Machiavelli said that the wise leader bases his power on what he controls, not what others control. Love is what others control. You can't make someone love you. They choose whether to love you. But fear is what you control. You control the consequences. You control whether you enforce boundaries. The psychological principle here is called locus of control. People with an internal locus of control, who believe they control their outcomes, are more successful than people with an external locus of control. So the leader who bases his power on love, which others control, is always vulnerable. But the leader who bases his power on respect, which he controls, is secure. Now here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Most people misunderstand Machiavelli as advocating for cruelty or tyranny, but he was actually advocating for something much more subtle. He was saying, be willing to do what's necessary, but not more. Don't be cruel for fun. Don't be cruel out of anger, but be willing to enforce consequences without flinching. This is the distinction between the tyrant and the strong leader. The tyrant is cruel emotionally, reactively, excessively. The strong leader is willing to use force strategically, calmly, and proportionally. The 12th principle is called the hatred threshold. Machiavelli explicitly warned against crossing the line into being hated. Fear is good, but hatred is counterproductive. The psychological principle here is called the difference between conditioned response and emotional backlash. If people fear the consequences, they comply. But if they hate you, they'll find ways to undermine you even at great cost to themselves. So the goal isn't to be hated. The goal is to be respected enough that disrespect carries cost. The 13th principle is called the competence signal. When you enforce boundaries consistently, you're signaling to everyone that you're someone they can't manipulate. And competent people don't engage with others they can't manipulate, so they respect you automatically. The psychological principle here is called the halo effect combined with filtering. People who are respected filter out weak actors. So when you demonstrate that you're not weak, stronger people treat you as a peer. The 14th principle is called the softness penalty. Machiavelli said that rulers who are too soft often create problems that require far harsher solutions later. The psychological principle here is called escalation of commitment. When problems are small and soft correction is possible, a quick harsh response solves them. But when the leader is soft and doesn't respond, the problem grows. And by the time correction is necessary, the response has to be much harsher. So the kind leader often ends up being much more cruel long-term than the firm leader. The 15th principle is called the appearance of stability. When people fear you, they perceive you as stable and strong. But when people love you, they perceive you as needy and dependent on their approval. The psychological principle here is called impression management. Your behavior creates an image. If you're seeking love, people see desperation. If you're commanding respect, people see strength. Same person, completely different perception. Now here's the part that will hit hardest. If you're not being respected, it's probably because you're trying too hard to be loved. You're over-explaining yourself. You're apologizing for things you didn't do. You're seeking approval. You're trying to prove your worth. And every time you do, people respect you less. Not because you're a bad person, but because you're signaling that you need their approval. And people don't respect people who need their approval. They respect people who don't. So the paradox is, to be loved, stop trying to be loved. To be respected, establish boundaries and enforce them. And once people respect you, they're more willing to love you anyway. But the opposite isn't true. If you're seeking love, you won't get respect. And without respect, love is just dependency. The 16th principle is called the loyalty problem. Machiavelli said that you can't rely on bought loyalty. If you pay people for loyalty, they'll be loyal as long as you're paying. But the moment you stop paying, they leave. The psychological principle here is called the over-justification effect. When you pay people for behavior, they stop doing it for intrinsic reasons. So when the payment stops, so does the behavior. But when people respect you, they show loyalty even without payment. Because respect is intrinsic. The 17th principle is called the power of no. Machiavelli understood that saying no is more powerful than saying yes. When you say yes to everything, you're signaling that you're available for anything. But when you're selective about what you say yes to, you're signaling that your time and attention are valuable. The psychological principle here is called scarcity and value. Scarce things are valued more than abundant things. So when you're always available, you're abundant and therefore low value. When you're selective, you're scarce and therefore high value. Here's what most people get wrong about Machiavelli's teaching on fear and love. They think it means abandon kindness and become a tyrant. But that's completely wrong. Machiavelli was describing reality, not advocating for specific behavior. He was saying, this is how humans actually respond. They respond to consequences, not to kindness. So if you want to be effective, base your power on what works, not on what feels good. It's not about being cruel. It's about being effective. And being effective requires understanding that love is fragile and fear is stable. So base your power on what's stable. Here's what you actually need to do. First, stop seeking approval. This is the foundation. Every time you seek approval, you signal weakness. Second, establish clear boundaries. Know what you will and won't tolerate. Communicate these boundaries clearly. Third, enforce boundaries consistently. When someone crosses a boundary, respond. Every single time. Don't let it slide because you want to be liked. Fourth, be willing to lose people. If someone can't respect your boundaries, they don't get access to you, and you have to be okay with that. Fifth, be strategic, not emotional. Don't enforce boundaries out of anger. Enforce them out of clarity about what you will accept. Sixth, build competence. The more competent you are, the less you need to enforce boundaries because people respect competence automatically. Seventh, make your consequences clear. Don't punish people secretly. Make it obvious that disrespect has cost. Eighth, don't be cruel just to be cruel. Be proportional. Be strategic. Be calm. Ninth, understand that respect precedes love. People won't truly love you until they respect you first. And 10th, accept that you can't control whether people love you, but you can control whether you enforce boundaries. Focus on what you control. Thanks for watching. If you're starting to realize that your attempts to be loved might be preventing you from being respected, comment below. Where in your life are you seeking love instead of commanding respect? And if this shifted how you think about relationships, influence, and what actually determines how people treat you, this channel exists to explore the dark psychology of human interaction and power dynamics. More deep dives like this come every day. See you in the next one.